Wow, 6 months is down and we're into the second half of the year, but this is my wrap up for June. I hope you love it.
Hi everybody, it's Kathy here, and today I am sharing with you my June collection of layouts. It was a bit of a slower month because of work and because of illness, so there's only 25, I think, not very many, but it has still brought me to almost the end of July in my tally for 2025, so that's pretty good, and I'm impressed that I've been able to keep up with my tally this year. All right, so let's kick it off. This was for the 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and this was day one, and we kicked off June with a positive. So this one here, using the sketch and some creative cutting with my Cricut, I was able to put in these elements for this layout. The next one here was for the Get in Shape hop that we did, and we had to focus on rectangles, and I've done a Franken base type of layout, which became a bit popular with a few people, and I'm very pleased that that old technique was brought back and some people were able to be inspired to create some wonderful layouts as well. And that's a nice, very vintagey feely type layout. Then I had a Rainbow Crush, and we had to use a rainbow, and this one here I used my Cricut to cut out all my circles, which I then inked to distress, and I popped them up on this layout, and that's a cute little one of my two elder daughters when they were little. And I'm going back and just starting to create a few layouts where I am using up all of my older photos stash, which I had pulled a long time ago and never got around to. This one here, that's Scrapbook Fantasies one, as well as a Mix It Up Monday where we had to use our mixed media, and I used some wet embossing around the outside. Also used some ink splatters in there, but as I said, it was also a creative team layout using Sunny Days from Scrapbook Fantasies. Very, very cool. Like how that came up. Old photos again, 2014. All right, then this one here was a Scrap Left Crafternoon, and we had to create this split wreath, which was great, and I used paper rose for this, and I do love how this turned out. It's just very, very cool. It's just a very different look, and I like how that one turned out. This one here, I just love. This one was for Stamp and Stencil Savvy, so we had to stamp our background and use our stencils. We had to mix up our stamp sets for this one here, so I had all different leaf ones, plus I just had these stencils added in to add that little extra. Got some background stamping happening, got the leaves, so I mixed up my sets, chain stitched all the way around my leaf. I just love this huge cut file, just perfect for my daughter living in her life with abandon. This one here was for the 30 days of sketches as well, day 3. I have done this sketch before when we had to stretch the sketch once, but I just like how this has come out. I wasn't too impressed at first with it, but I come back to it and I'm actually liking it. And someone actually commented that they saw the string and the messy media in the background. I thought, what is going to go on there? And then they actually liked the final outcome. So that was a cute one. My daughter and I at the zoo. Then this one here was the Paper Fun Day challenge for the month, and we had to use embossing folders for our twist, and I just liked how that came out. I created a mixed media background, which I then stamped on and fussy cut the stamps of the flowers, and that's how that all came together. My daughter and I in the city at the Chinese gardens. I just like the colors in this one. It's a bit muted and a bit mottled. This one here was a Scrap Left Crafternoon, and it was a double page layout, so I am sorry that you only get to see it in bits and pieces. This workspace is not conducive to a double layout, but it is quite one of my favorites, I'd say, of the month. I love how this turned out. It is my youngest son with his love of lightsabers and all things Star Wars. So he collects everything you can imagine. So I love how this came together. It was a great scrap lift for the month. I like that one. This too is a double page layout, which was also another scrap lift crafternoon. And I just like how this has come together. I've had these photos for ages. I wanted to get them done. Scrap lifting my road trip to my girlfriend's daughter's hens weekend. It was actually my very first time I'd ever been up into the Hunter Valley, so it was a little bit of an adventure for me. And I started very early in the morning, as you can see, 5:40 in the morning, to get there ready for our big day. This one here was 30 Days of Sketches, and it is my own sketch which I created. I've put in my sewing down the side here, and I've got my torn paper and my washi. This was of my daughter. She really was born in the wrong era. She should belong in that ancient times. She would fit better, I think. So this is a great layout. Once again, I'm using Uniquely Creative on this one, and I do like the papers. It was a pretty set of papers, and I don't always do pretty papers, but I like that one. This one here was Mad About Mini Pads, and I just love how this turned out. Use these mini pad papers in here, and this is once again my daughter, my middle daughter, and we went to Glow in Sydney. It was just fabulous. I just love how this came out. It was a great layout, and using up all those mini pads is always a great option for us. We need to use them more often, and this was a great way to do it. I love the opposite diagonals in this. It looks perfect. That's a great choice. I really like this one. This is my friend. She's my enabler. She was my mentor, my I say enabler. She brought me into the world of scrapbooking. I used to sit for hours and hours and hours watching her scrapbook when our children were really, really tiny, like our first two. And then one day when I had my fourth child, I decided that yes, it was time. I was going to give it a go, and I fell in love with scrapbooking, and I have just, taken it on board and everything that it has to offer, and I really thank her. And we traveled together. We went to Alaska together. We did a cruise on the South Pacific together. We grew up together. Like, we lived about 10 houses away from each other and spent our childhood together. It was just, it's a friendship of a lifetime. And she came to visit, and we went out and we were playing in the park, and we were enabling each other. We were climbing trees. Terrible, but it was great. It was so much fun. And that layout is just beautiful, and it was for another scrap lift crafternoon, and I just love how this turned out. That's just a great memory, that one. This one here is for Go Craft Create, sorry, and I'm on the creative team there. I used their printables here to create this layout of my daughter and her husband, my youngest and her new man, and he just makes her like glow. So I love this. I think it's great. I love the colors. It was perfect for these photos, and it was just a great memory to capture. I just love it, and I can't say how much I love the fact that she's her happy self again. So this one here was old photos again. My husband with my youngest son. It was at Christmas 2013 in Darling Harbour. Just love how this turned out. And it was using the negative of all those circles that I used in the Rainbow Crush. And I just like how this all came together for a masculine looking layout. And this was for day 16 of 30 Days of Sketches, and it's just perfect. I do like it. Here was for Black Magic Sketches. This is a new Facebook group, and we have to use a black background, and then they give us a sketch to use and a color palette. And so this was for June, and I really like this one. once again, Mr. And it just is just a fun layout. Franken base again, love the colors. It was just a nice layout. This one is of my boys and their friend. Now, this is my youngest, this is my oldest, and this boy here I taught when he was in kindergarten. They became friends in kindergarten and have stayed together ever since, but I taught him in kindergarten. He was in the room next door with my friend, and their friendship just bloomed, and they've stayed together, and he is so funny. He makes me laugh. But the three of them make me laugh, and they were out, and this was for a Scrap-A-Sketch promotional layout where I was using their cutouts and their printables, and this is just a fun masculine cute layout. I like it. Great memories. This one here I love. I would say this would have to be one of my favorite layouts for a long time. Brianna Spores did this one. It was created using the 30 Days of Sketches. As soon as I saw that sketch, I just fell in love with it, and fortunately at Glow I was able to capture the perfect photos for it, and I just love how this all came together. All right, so that there is a fabulous layout. It really is, and I just love that die cut, that cut file. That's one of the best. Perfect. Then I have done this one, and it is Willa, and it was for the Iron Crafter challenge, and I just love how this came together. I used a jelly plate for the first time here to create my patterns for my flowers. I used the jelly plate using inks. I needed a monochromatic. I wanted to go to match her, and this is how that turned out, and it's just beautiful. I love it. We had to use wood veneer for this one. I colored my wood veneers. It was just a very great layout to create. Simple, but I love the effect. It's very nice. Now this one again was a Scrap Lift Crafternoon, and it was a double again. Now we had a lot of doubles in June, which was pretty unusual because we get a lot of singles and we don't often get doubles, and I'm not really a double scrapper, but I do like how this turned out. These is my two eldest daughters when they were in the cadets. They were in Navy cadets, and they were practicing their marching so that they could be ready for a parade. I love these photos where they were just carefree together, so it was good. I just had a lovely set, and those papers are just beautiful for it. This one here is for a stick it down. So this was a stick it down sketch, and I did this layout. I hand stitched the borders here. These are cut files again. This is my middle daughter, my youngest daughter, and myself. We were playing in the park that day with my friend, and we were all throwing leaves all over ourselves to capture the falling leaves. It just is a really cute, fun layout, and I like how that turned out as well. And then last but not least, we had our great friend Helen Ding, perfect scrapbooker, fantastic video YouTuber. You need to go check her out. She is from England. She's amazing. And this was for her 1,000 subscribers, and I just love how this turned out. I was also using Scrapbook Fantasies newest range, Nature's Way. It was perfect for this layout. It just mimicked the colors of the photos. These are the beautiful elephants at Sydney Zoo. It's just a great layout. I love these cut files that I used from Cricut, and that's how this one all came together. So it was a small month, as I said, busy month at work, reading reports, late nights with dance concerts. Then I got sick, you know, so June was a bit slow, but my layouts were all done, and I'm very happy with what was achieved through June. July is going to be in a massive month, so you'll have to stick around and see it. All of these have a video, so please, if there was something that you just saw that you missed the video, go back and check them. They're there. I'm happy for you to copy everything on anything that I do. I create because I love to create. I don't expect anything from it. I just enjoy the process and hopefully inspire others to enjoy the process. Let me know what you liked. Let me know which one really took your fancy. I'm also going to put in at the end a couple of the swaps that I did for the Girls Down Under, an Australian group where we make creative embellishments for swaps, and you'll see what I created in June as well. Happy scrapping till next time. I really do appreciate you watching, and I would love for you to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do so that you don't miss any of my content. And if you're new to my channel, please think about subscribing. But thanks for visiting, everybody, and to my actual subscribers, I really do appreciate that you stick around and give me feedback every single time on my videos. There are a few of you that visit all the time, and I am so grateful every time I read one of your comments. There are so many amazing people out there. There are so many gifted crafters, and I am thrilled that you think that I can give you something that will inspire you to be creative. So that's June. It's a wrap, and I will see you next month in July. Thank you.
So this one was created for a space. These were some gnomes. This one was a Tech Me Up, so I went from old to new. Another gnome one, and this was music. Happy scrapping, everybody. Thanks for watching, and here's my next video for you. See you there real soon.